Hello again. You're listening to the New England Haunts Podcast, Episode 8, my 2022 visit to the haunted Gallows in Burrillville, Rhode Island. I am your host, Hallowoosh. It is April 2023, and with me, as always, is my irresistible... I can't think of any noun that starts with I.
Imp.
Imp?
Imp.
Imp? Ew. Okay, fine. You called it. Noobs, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Ready to get this show started today.
Good. Then let's do it. All right. For geography's sake, this should be a new segment. Every freaking show I started off with, like, did you know it was over here? So, just like how I was talking about the address for Haunt on Eden, sometimes they are listed as in Plantsville, but Plantsville is just a section of the actual town of Southington. This haunted gallows place is sometimes said to be in Harrisville, Rhode Island, which is a section of Burrillville. But when you look up where the hell Harrisville actually is, this place isn't even close to it. So, if anything, Haunted Gallows is in a section called Glendale. And to make it even more crazy, that's just the street address. But you cross the state line into Massachusetts. The parking lot and the attraction are technically in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. And also, when I heard about the location of this place, I was a little excited that the house that The Conjuring movie is based off of, it's only like 5 miles away from this place.
That's cool. What was that whole thing about, though?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little episode about Ed and Lorraine Warren some other day. But the story about this little house was the inspiration for the first movie. And I suppose the history is at least somewhat true. In the late 1800s, there was a lady named Bathsheba Sherman. And apparently, she was related down the line to one of the women who was hanged at the Salem witch trials. And there's a crap load of different stories about her, but the gist of it is that she stabbed her 1-week-old baby. She screamed out something about liking Satan, and then hanged herself from a tree.
Wow.
Now, I have no idea if anything is true. There was someone named Bathsheba married to a Mr. Sherman, and they did live in, or at least on, this property. But the Conjuring movie focuses on the paranormal events that happened at this house in the 70s to the Perron family. Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated it and determined that it was Bathsheba who was haunting them. So Bathsheba was the bad guy.
Right.
And I found that all after my visit. I don't know much about any of that. But I was still a bit excited because I thought they were going to do something with the Conjuring theme just because it was so close.
So at that house, does anyone do anything there?
No. The current owner, the previous ones too, they sort of rent out the place for paranormal groups to come in and do their freaking nerd shit all night. It's not like it's a public museum and a gift shop or anything like that. Yet, anyway.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I wasn't sure if there would be like copyright issues if they wanted to use that house or story or anything.
Good question. Interesting question. I'm just trying to think about what can be copywritten. I really don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of weird scenarios I just thought up. Wow. Like, is the word conjuring copywritten? Like, would it matter if it was a real story versus a made-up story versus a made-up story that profited off of the based on a true story? You know, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. It's a lot. All right, let's talk about this freaking place in a bit. So first, let's do some beer dedication. I've been waiting on this one for a while. You excited?
So excites.
Excites, I like that one. All right, we got an Narragansett. Yeah, we crush it like Quint can. If you don't know this beer, it's famously known as the beer in Jaws that Quint kept on drinking forever.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That is old. Nothing bad to say about this. This is just a straightforward, good, crushable. Crushable. What do people mean by when they say it's crushable?
Like easy drinking.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is an easy drinker. You put yourselves right on the banks in Rhode Island and just watching the sunset and the fishing boats go in and out. This is
And the great white
nostalgia.
sharks killing
And
people.
the great white sharks and the
Killing.
body parts hanging out of their mouths. It's so special, so magical. All right, we're going to crush it like Quint, kid?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Yeah, crush it. Crush it. Crush it.
Crush.
Goddamn sharks. That was fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
We got a little pub theater up here called Chunky's. And every summer they play Jaws a couple times and they serve Narragansett. The old Narragansett cans too, not the new ones.
Oh, nice.
So the ones that they look like a complete cylinder.
Yeah.
Look like a can of beans. And every time he crushes the can, everybody just lifts up their empty thing and they just crush it all at the same time. It's fun.
Nice.
All right. So let's talk about this freaking place. All right. So Haunted Gallows popped up on my radar, I think, early summer 2022. And they posted a few videos on TikTok, some on Facebook, just of them preparing for everything and also their logo. And it looked like they were really putting in an effort to make something nice. And this is owner Jason, and Ashley Soares, I think. I could be butchering that. It might just be Soares, but I'm pretty sure it's Soares. I saw that the owner was actually a manager coming from Scary Acres in Rhode Island. And I'm not afraid to admit it, I am not a fan of Scary Acres.
Ooh. Why not?
I don't really want to get into it right now. Maybe I'll talk about them in a different episode. But the main thing is that I have no idea what or who caused the things I don't like about Scary Acres. And I'm just really hoping that it's not following them into this brand new spot, you know?
And this was his first year here?
Yep, first year haunt. The guy has been doing this stuff for over a decade, though. And I think this was the first new haunt I heard about in 2022. And the only real thing I knew about the place when I found it were where it was. The people are actually doing outdoor work, clearing brush and hauling wood all over the place. And that all tells me that they have a dedication. And it had a professional logo, which tells me it's not like a community haunt or like some elementary school thing or a Parks and Rec Hayride style thing. You know, which is all fine and good, but I kind of naturally get more excited when a new big scale, big dream haunt moves in.
So how do you determine what is and isn't a pro haunt logo?
Well, I guess after fiddling around with a bunch of different horror-themed fonts, you have a better chance of knowing which ones are just fonts versus ones that are like custom or at least altered in a way. Like it might be a font someone else made, but the graphics person maybe made like eraser marks or smudged a corner a bit, all kinds of stuff. And the dead giveaway is if the letters have a bunch of color and texture, you know, bare minimum, like a gradient, like if the top half of it is white and the bottom half dissolves into a red or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, Haunted Gallows looks really cool. It's definitely two fonts, one for Haunted and one for Gallows. But Haunted is like a gradient white to black, and it's got ghostly white glow to it. Gallows is a font too, but then arches just a little from the bottom, and I think it kind of represents like the tree branch or the top beam of a gallows, and the letters look like wood planks, and they have this noose graphic wrapped around the T in haunted, and the neck loop hangs down and it makes the O in Gallows.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's at least creative enough to tell me that someone wants this to be something special.
But yeah, you can tell when something looks good and someone really put work into a logo, you know.
Yeah.
Just by the look of it. Sometimes you can't explain it, but you can just tell that
Right.
it's a nice solid logo. So is there any theme of this place that's any ties into The Conjuring at all?
Okay, for that, I'll hand it off to our little buddy, Abraham.
Oh, boy.
Abraham, how you doing, buddy?
I'm okay, I guess.
Oh, that doesn't sound so good.
Oh, sometimes I just wish I could sit back and watch the world burn.
Oh my God.
Hear everyone screaming in absolute pain and suffering.
Dude, you got issues.
See their mutilated corpses set ablaze and slowly crumble to ashes.
Wow.
What the hell?
Did you forget your pills again?
No?
Are you lying?
Yes.
Yeah, thought so. How about you tell us about Haunted Gallows and take your pills and I'll take you out for some ice cream. How's that sound?
Yea.
Okay, go ahead.
New England's newest haunted house with 2 exciting attractions located on a 600-acre farm at Richardson Sawmill, just 30 minutes from Providence and Worcester. Can you escape the gallows? First, the Dark Fair will send you on a journey through an abandoned carnival, which will make you wonder what is really being played with the games, or you. Next, Bathsheba's Woods will send you deep into the forest to explore local lore and a time period when the threat of being called a witch could cost you your life. Do you dare to face the haunted gallows?
Thanks, Abe. That was lovely.
Can I get ice cream now?
In a minute. Go take your pills.
Okay.
Go take your pills.
So, yes, one of their attractions uses the name Bathsheba, the name of the woman who supposedly murdered her months-old son and said some devil stuff, then hung herself. The other attraction has nothing to do with any of that. So, first off, this is another sort of pet peeve of mine when owners or the marketing team think the size of a place is a good selling point. Like when they said it was on a 600-acre farm, but it's not the size of the place at all. What the hell does that do? Mm-hmm. Located on a 600-acre farm. Really, what does that do? You're not walking in a constant outdoor haunt for 600 freaking acres.
Yeah.
I'd say the area they occupy is more like maybe like 4 acres.
Yeah.
So why they come out of nowhere and go 600-acre farm, it just irritates me.
I guess they're just trying to, I don't know, use it as a selling point, just kind of like beef it up, like to make it sound better,
But what happens
obviously.
like in a normal person's head when they hear that? Are they actually expecting a haunt to be 600 acres big?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't, like...
Most people probably don't even know how much an acre actually is, but...
No. And furthermore, the size doesn't really have anything to do with it. It's about the show.
So are you saying it's not the size that matters?
Nah, it's more like it's not the size that matters. It's how much cool shit you can jam in there.
That's what he said.
Oh, God. Again, say hi to him for me.
Who says hi?
Okay. What the hell are we doing again? Oh, yeah. Okay. So there are 2 trails here, Bathsheba's Woods and Dark Fair. I've heard them say that there are plans to add a hayride at some point. It seems like there's a lot of motivation to make a lot of stuff there, but we'll see. They proclaim themselves as New England's newest haunted house. 1, they aren't a house. 2, I doubt they are technically the newest.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you don't agree with a place calling themselves a haunted house if it's not an actual house setup?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I mean, no, because I know most, just the random average person will call a haunted house, even if it's not a house, physical building.
Yeah, I know, but that's just it's a stupid thing. It never, ever should have been freaking called a haunted house if it's not a goddamn house. You want to fight about it?
Uh-oh. So you don't think they were the newest, but this was their first year, though, right?
Yeah, but the title of newest is probably going to have to go to whoever started clean in 2022 and opened up last, I guess,
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like, I guess, like, if two haunts were opening up the same year, they started the same time, but for some reason, one of them wanted to open up in September, and the second one opened up in October, then the one that opened up in October is the newest.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get technical about it. I mean, this place just kind of, seems like they're using a lot of, you can't blame them, but just kind of, using a lot of words just to, build it up and, get excitement about the place,
Yeah, I know, but this is the New England Haunts podcast where I just look at haunts and I go like, hey, technically you're not, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the places, food places, the original hamburger and stuff, a lot of these, companies just use these things that technically might not be true just to use
I'm not okay with that.
No, I know. I'm not either. But, you kind of know what they're doing.
Just like in the movie Elf, when he walks by the little diner and there's that sign that says the world's best cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And he believes it.
You did it! Congratulations! World's best cup of coffee. Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
So what would it, by your judgment, what is the newest haunt in New England right now?
I think I'm going to have to say the Forsaken Lands.
Oh, okay. Well, didn't you say they came from Legends of Fear? Would that still count, though?
He acted for a bit at Legends. He probably learned quite a few things. But the rest of these first-year people have been managers, high on the pole type people for other places. So the owner and operator has just been an actor for a few places a couple times. I don't know where they're getting the budget from. They weren't, off managing something somewhere else. This is just them doing their dream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I can say that Forsaken is currently the newest addition to New England.
We will take your word on that.
You should. Also, I remember reading somewhere that Haunted Gallows was trying to make Bathsheba's Woods a little bit more kid-friendly, and the dark fare was a bit more dark, I guess, maybe. So when I got there, the place had just opened up. Oh, and the road that this place is on is so freaking haunted New England style. It's amazing. It's just up and down, left and right, in between stone walls, patches of trees, then big fields. The sun was setting over the hills too. And I bet people in the country would say that's exactly like where they are. It's not New England exclusive setting.
Yeah, I mean, the stone walls, probably, though.
Yeah, maybe. I know I've seen plenty in New York and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is so freaking pretty, I have to tell you. In my opinion, when it comes to a fun time in the fall, New England ain't got shit on Pennsylvania.
Oh my God.
They got the Dutch food, the Amish, the attractions, the coal mine history, all the Americana stuff.
Yeah.
Even the leaves.
No way. Get out of here.
Dude, I'm telling you, there are a few spots in New Hampshire and Vermont at a very particular time in the season you can go out and see all the colors all over the mountains. Not hills, mountains. And by God, it's majestic. But there's more spots I've driven through in Pennsylvania where the colors were all over the hills and just looked like an endless sea of red and yellow and orange. Mm-hmm. And the color lasts for longer down there, too. And it's just those colors, too. Most of the trees up here are like spruces and pines, a lot of evergreens. So you get a lot more dark green in there than you thought you'd see.
Right.
And anyways, it's just a tidbit. And pulling into the parking lot for this place here, this Haunted Gallows, I think it was a $5 parking fee. But there's a house, and it's almost like you pull into the dirt driveway of this incredibly creepy old dark farmhouse, and then you keep driving into their backyard and past all this rusty farm equipment and sheds and crap. And the parking area is this like uneven, squishy field. And I was a little bummed out because the house that you drive by is like this picture-perfect, scary as hell house. But I guess we'll just ignore it.
Well, maybe they'll use it, incorporate it somehow in the future.
Maybe. Well, the haunt was open, but apparently they didn't have the fair attraction open just yet. And they had a axe throwing, a cotton candy guy, some other thing with a laser gun and some number keypad thing. I don't know. So the cotton candy guy was trying to get these little noose-shaped gummies to stay in the cotton candy while he spun it. But I guess they were a little too heavy, so he didn't have a good way of getting them into the cotton candy. But I appreciated him trying to do something more special. But he just handed out those gummies for free to everybody. So Bathsheba's Woods was open, and the entrance to the trail was kind of cool. I think it was the first thing I saw in the pictures of this place. It was like a jack-o'-lantern wall, a couple pumpkins spelled out Haunted Gallows, just fun looking. And there was a little trail with a couple pumpkin decoration things along the way. And I wasn't sure if the attraction started or not, but I kept going. And then I see some people waiting to walk through some fabric flaps. I was particularly let down, though. In their little short TikTok video during the building, they had this picture of what looked like a section of like a stereotypical UFO flying saucer. And they were putting it on its side, and the caption was, "What could we be up to?" or something like that. I was like, "What could this be?" Question mark. Something like that. So I'm expecting something a bit unique. Maybe a big alien crash scene. Maybe some weird tin roof full of something weird. And there it was in this little trail, just painted orange to look like a part of a pumpkin. Like, yay.
That's it?
There might have been like a green top to it or something.
So how big was it, though?
It's like maybe like 10 feet tall, at least 12 feet wide. And they got this stupid like Walmart brand house projector light. It says trick or treat on it. It's just shining on the thing.
And that was the end? That's kind of the anticlimactic?
Yep. But yeah, I can't really explain what the hell this thing was. It kind of looked like the top of a food silo.
Uh-huh.
A grain silo, I mean. Right?
Huh.
But like open a bit more. I don't know. It's just like the tin flaps just kind of all riveted together.
Yeah.
But now it just looks like a giant metal pumpkin. Not even the whole thing, just a side of it.
Sometimes, like, you've been to a lot more places, but sometimes, like, you'll see something, like, at a haunt, see what they were trying to do, but they just, like, didn't, like, nail it. Like, they totally missed the mark on it kind of thing. Like, oh, you were trying to do this, but you just didn't work out type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could be a little bit more forgiving there, because maybe they did have some kind of crazy plan.
Yeah.
And they just ran out of time and money or something. Yeah, maybe.
So did you say, like, this was part of the kids section?
Yeah. I just read somewhere that they were saying there would be a kid-friendly element. And I'm not sure if it was the whole attraction or just this little trail leading up to Bathsheba's Woods. But still, it's like, let's get this big thing and let's just paint it orange and make people think it might be something way cooler than it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, or you're just being an asshole about it.
or I'm just being an asshole. You're probably right. I get it. Okay. You know what? I'd say it's time for a quick music break, and when we come back, we'll talk about these two trails. Oh, I'm going to use that one? Sure, I'll use it. For now, enjoy this little number, Nobody from Power Music Factory.
Nobody by Power Music Factory.
Wow, some good stuff. Thank you, Power Music Factory, for that one. You can check out more of their stuff on YouTube. Look up Power Music Factory.
Thank you, Power Music Factory.
Aw. Well, that was so damn cute that I need another beer. Woo! So this one is not from Rhode Island because apparently there's some laws in Rhode Island that make it a real pain in the ass for a lot of breweries down there to distribute.
Really?
If I could just pick like anywhere without actually going to the brewery, I would have picked Lops Brewing down there. They're the closest ones.
Yeah.
And they look really cool too. I might head down there someday and just check it out myself. This one was, I just found this out, was from Springdale Beer Company, which is actually, it looks to me like it was kind of like a subdivision of Jack Abbey, which is a pretty popular beer. Oh my god, somebody's getting killed outside. The Transformers are outside my window. Oh my god.
Jack Abbey's, they do a lot of ciders, right?
Yeah, I think for some reason, Jesus, Transformer backing up into my freaking condo.
Optimus Primal or Rhino?
Optimus Primal. This kid is so excited about the new Transformers movie.
I kind of am.
So, yeah, for some reason I remember you found a lot of ciders, but they do a lot of barrel-aged.
Right.
They did so much of it, I guess, that they actually made this subdivision, Springdale Beer Company, where they wanted to start doing IPAs and sours and stuff like that, and I don't think it was the same spot. But unfortunately, something happened, and they are no longer with us.
Oh.
It's a terrible way to put it.
Wait, who? Jack's Abbey?
No, they're a little Springdale beer company.
Okay.
I mean,
there's actually a lot of breweries, not a lot, but closing down right now. Just because with pandemic and prices and stuff, it's hard for a lot of these smaller places to stay open.
It's really weird. I mean, in this particular case, Jack's Abbey is doing very well, but so I'm not entirely sure why they wanted to shut down this portion of it. I mean, especially around here, I haven't heard of many breweries closing because it's freaking awesome.
Right.
It's like the place to go to. I mean, I don't know about other places in the country, but this one I believe was dedicated to at least one member of a band down there called the Screaming Females. I think she had I don't know if she had a tattoo made from the art on the can, or the art on the can is a tattoo that she has.
Right.
But yeah, I got this up north at a little place where a guy just keeps on going around finding fun beers.
Nice.
And he said this one was real good. So it says Simcoe hops, 6.5 alcohol, featuring the Screaming Females. Day by day and drop by drop, our collab with New Jersey's rock band, the Screaming Females, has arrived, with label art designed by Marissa Porter-Noster. Potter, I don't know. Freaking cool ass last name, by the way. No matter how you say it, incorrectly, correctly, Paternoster. That's great. It sounds like a transformer. Okay. I thought Noobs would have more of a reaction to that.
I mean, not really, but...
Oh, wow, what a dick. Okay. This beer is a true collaboration between artists, musicians, illustrators, and brewers alike. Big West Coast style hop flavor hits you all at once, just like the unapologetically raw, impassioned lyrics and powerful guitar riffs we love from their latest studio album, which God knows when 2022. Oh my God, they got even a little QR code on the back where it goes right to their playlist.
Nice.
Or maybe their website. Look at that. So yeah.
So that's an IPA?
It's an IPA. I said that already.
Okay.
God. All right. Fortunately, this is probably one of the last batches of this stuff you can find, but I'm going to drink it. Ooh, nice.
It's nice.
Pretty cloudy, yeah. Not too orangey, but I guess that's kind of West Coast style, right? It's not a tiny bit of clearness to it.
You say that you're not the biggest fan of IPAs, but a lot of the...
Because that's all I can find. They're everywhere. It's stupid. No, I think that IPA... Look, all right. I'm not a fan, but I appreciate the hell out of them because I believe that that's the thing that I guess most brewers are trying to, like, implement all the different types of recipes that they come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that with almost anything. I get that, but maybe they're a little bit more tricky.
Right.
I guess is what I don't know. That's kind of more of a guess, really. Oh my God, it really smells orangey though. And like pineapple, lots of fruit going on here. Love it. All right, here we go. It's got a spiciness to it.
A little spice kick.
And that, I mean, it tingles a lot more than the other ones, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Carbonation.
I don't know if carbonation might be the right word or not, but maybe.
Does it have a can-on date on it?
Good call, sir. We got December. And this guy that I get the beers from up north, like, he drinks a lot of different beers. And he has, like, another beer guy that goes out into the countryside looking for beers, like a freaking beer whisperer or something.
Who is this?
Okay, so it's a little takeout restaurant up there called Georgia's North Side. Big shout out to Alan Nakiel, best chef I've ever known. And he has a whole beer fridge that he keeps stocked pretty well. But he says that he has a guy that kind of goes out there and gets a whole bunch of stuff. So every once in a while I stop in because sometimes there's some unique stuff that I can't find.
Right.
It is good though. IPAs are definitely growing on me. I guess if you drink enough of them.
Yeah. You get some good stuff, you know.
I just never. It took me a while to get used to the hops.
Yeah.
You know, like it still isn't really like a flavor that's like, ooh, hops, yum.
Right.
Like, no, there's nothing like sweet. I don't know. There's nothing pleasurable about the flavor. You're not going to use it in anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're making hop bread.
Yeah.
That's why. But like I said, it's growing.
There's a lot of average ones out there, but if you get a lot of good ones, it'll start growing on you, I'm sure.
I can understand now why people would say that this IPA or certain IPAs. They say, "Oh, this one's real good," because before it was, like you're starting drinking. It's like it all tastes the same to me. The hell are you talking about? But yeah, you get that familiarization, I suppose, of like what is good and bad. So this one, really, really good. Can't believe they're gone though. Doesn't even make any sense. That's like the Framingham, Massachusetts area. Freaking, there's a couple breweries down there, but it's like there's a lot of people down there too.
Like I was saying with the breweries, like
that place was cool though. They had like an arcade with like skee ball and stuff, and like it was a really cool looking place.
It's a lot of breweries are having trouble right now with all the price increases and inflation shit.
Yeah,
because it's actually, beer is like, as far as breweries, really expensive to get into. There's a lot of overhead and shit.
Yeah, no, I could understand that, but still, it's not like Jack's Abbey closed. And Jack's Abbey, the whole freaking reason why they made Springdale was because they wanted to do a couple more things.
Yeah,
but Jack's Abbey is doing great. So
yeah,
I don't know, whatever. All right, so let's start with Bathsheba's Woods. So the entrance to this trail actually was at the end of this little jack-o'-lantern area, and apparently they called that whole thing the Boo Patch. And I saw Boo Patch and Bathsheba's Woods on their own banners back in the Midway area, but my brain didn't process Boo Patch as anything more than a bad Halloween decoration. So, but Bathsheba's Woods starts at this kind of neat birchwood wall that they built. And even the letters of Bathsheba were like sawed off sticks, and they nailed them to the plank. It was all right. And there's a guy taking tickets at the front. No costume, no character. That's fine. I'm the only one there, and I didn't remember at the time what Bathsheba was. So I asked the guy, and the guy goes, "Oh, it's the name of the trail." Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep. And you know what, noobs? I've been turning a new leaf recently. I feel that for much of my life I would get answers like that, and I would just accept it as the answer. And I figured one of two things usually. Like maybe that actually is the answer. And they made up some random mashup of letters, and they thought Bathsheba sounded spooky. And maybe the guy is incredibly sick and tired of explaining it to people, and he just wants to be left alone. Maybe he had a terrible day. Maybe they've designed the attraction as such that I'll find out when I get in. I always would think everything else before I thought, okay, you're either stupid or an ass. No, but not anymore, noobs.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. This is a new whoosh.
Yep. No, I did it for years because I wanted to be the nice and considerate guy, but years and years and years of that crap got me nothing. Okay? People are pathetic, and it's their fault that they can't communicate properly. Not mine. I looked into his soul and said very clearly and very seriously, "Why are you calling it Bathsheba?" And this is what he gives me. He's like, it's the witch from that movie, The Conjuring, or something about a Salem witch killed her kid, hung herself, something like that.
Wow, what a great story.
Yeah, right? I guess I was a little happy that I got some answer, but the execution was awful. So now I'm mad again because I'm like, you got a guy not in costume who should be able to explain the story, and he's treating it like there is absolutely no importance to the history of this name. It kind of set the tone going in, so thanks for that, guy. Right? So yeah. I go in. It's sort of set up like an old colony type theme, I guess, like just little wooded huts, not many of them. Actors in the first scene, anyway, are all witches, cheap black cloaks. Couldn't really make out their faces. The first one is at this hut with some prop chickens around it, and she comes out like, "You can't have my chickens!" And I'm like, "Lady, I don't want your chickens."
That's the line. That's the go-to line. Yeah. You can't have this. You can't have that.
You can't. Maybe they weren't witches. I'm not entirely sure. So a little bit more into the trail, there was a witch that she just sort of walked up to me. There was no hiding spot anywhere, and she just goes, "Welcome to my swamp." And I stop. I look around.
Here comes your 19th nervous breakdown.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, wow. Nice catch. Stones fans loving you right now.
Hey.
All right, so I look around and back at her, and I ask, "What's swamp?" I didn't see a swamp anywhere. And the lack of dedication to the characters at some of these places is beautiful. She literally just turns to her right, like over her shoulder a little bit, and flails her hand in the general direction, like she was trying to say, "The swamp, it's right there, duh. It's right there." Without uttering a word. Like someone told her the job is to bump into the guests and say, "Welcome to my swamp." Nothing else. That's your job. Just say, "Welcome to my swamp." That's it. And I just laughed and shook my head and kept walking.
So do you ever feel like that you're making the actors feel bad when you make comments like that?
Oh, God. Well, Diane Sawyer, jeez. Yeah, that's a complicated one. Maybe I'll dive into it in a separate episode. But I guess I'd say it's complicated. On one hand, you paid money for an interactive experience, and yet you get this stuff that's just like embarrassing, really.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, sometimes that's exactly what people are paying for, even for the fact that those volunteer actors don't know how embarrassing their efforts are. In this particular case, I look at it as Scary Acres could have been nice and scary. It never, ever was for me. It's one of the only haunts I have ever been to where I wanted to stop in the middle of it and just go home. I was so ashamed by how unprofessional and uncreative it was.
Yeah.
I had some hopes that maybe this move away from Scary Acres would be an opportunity to shine, and very quickly they were proving to me that this was not what I thought it was going to be.
Well, that might not necessarily mean it's the actor's fault.
No, that's right. But when a haunt owner starts promoting their haunt in a way to make it seem like it will be scary and it's the scariest one yet, and then I take that as a declaration of you thinking that you can play with the big guys.
Yeah.
And a big part of being able to play with the big guys means your actors can, at the very least, not do something as meaningless as "Welcome to my swamp" and quit. Right? So I compulsively shake my head and walk away. But can it only lead to good things?
Like what?
Well, think about it. Like she can get all offended and either leave or stay. If she leaves, then good. No more random pointless swamp witch, right? If she stays and she's all pissed off about it, then she has some anger to direct at the next people, right? It'll be more like, "Welcome to my swamp." What? Does that make any sense to you? What? Yeah, keep walking. That's better than "Welcome to my swamp."
True.
And maybe there's an extremely slight chance that she could think to herself, "Wow, am I really that bad?" Well, he's got a point. There isn't even a swamp here. I'm not good at this. Maybe I should get better.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Do you think you could do like a whole episode of making actors feel bad?
I think I could do a good 10 minutes on just talking about moments where I flat out made my feelings known. Mm-hmm. Probably more than 10 minutes now.
All right. That could be fun.
Sure. Ugh. All right. So enough about Swamp Witch. Let's talk about the other guy I didn't like. So they had this path that was pretty much a big circle around some trees, and it seemed like they gave this whole big spot to one actor, and it was a ghillie suit guy, like the camouflage suit. Mm-hmm. And all the guy did was walk up to me and follow me for the whole circle. It felt like a full minute. No talking, no scaring, no following. He was right next to me. I'm completely shutting myself off from him, too, paying zero attention. He doesn't exist to me. And finally, I reach the end of the section, and the guy stops following me, and out of nowhere, he just screams.
Oh, God.
And I'm walking away from him, like, I'm 20 to 30 feet away, and to him, like, that was the time to finally do something.
Mm-hmm. Something
that still would have pissed me off if he had done it right next to me. But this was just dumb.
Yeah, I might have felt weird with that one.
They did have one woman that I liked. She was playing the part of a little evil girl or like a little evil doll. And she was going psycho, saying she wants to make everyone into her toys and play games and stuff like that. She did it really well. And I was catching up to the group ahead of me, and they were all in this girl's area. She sees me. She didn't need to reset or anything. She just right into it, be that character. Mm-hmm. And I honest to God don't remember much of anything else about the trail other than it was a witched theme for a very, very, very small portion of it.
So was it short?
I don't remember it being too short, not long, just a lot of dead areas. And I know their excuse is that it's their first year and they didn't have enough time and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I wish you the best of luck trying to turn the place into the vision that you have, but this dumb attitude of, well, obviously it's not going to be that good because it's our first year. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what they do with this place.
You want to make a good first impression, right?
Yeah, and they weren't doing it. The second trail, Dark Fair, which is also a name that bothers me, and they could have put in a little bit of an effort to make it better. It had a circus tent looking thing as an entrance, like a big top looking thing. But it didn't have a cover on top of it. It was probably for sprinkler reasons. And there was a clown ringmaster kind of looking girl at the ticket taker, and she would ask everyone in the group as they came up to her, like, "What are you afraid of?" And then they'd answer her, but she never had like any like good response or reason for asking. Mm-hmm. So people would go, "I'm scared of spiders. I'm scared of ghosts." And then she looked at me, and because she was sort of a clown character, I'm like, "I'm scared of clowns." Thinking if nothing else triggered anything in this girl, maybe that would. And she was just like, "Oh, yeah, those are creepy."
Jeez.
And again, my hopes for this attraction just went...
Wow.
And whatever that thing was I read about this place, I remember them saying that this was supposed to be a bit more geared for adults. And I guess I could kind of see that. So we went into this big top tent. The ringmaster character popped out. He actually made me jump. I went in with 3 other people, I think a father and his 2 daughters. They all jumped too. I can't remember if he was on stilts or just really tall, and that's why it was a bit shocking when he popped out. But his character's name was the Amazing Jonathan, which, again, the creativity is beyond incredible here with names. So
the Amazing Jonathan.
And his voice wasn't like, "Welcome, I am the Amazing Jonathan." It was like, "Hi, welcome, how are you?" And he pretty much had everyone stand on opposite sides of the tent, and each side had this archway you'd walk through. And then he says, like, "Go, now you go, now you go." And I think it was like some sort of a maze. Mm-hmm. And I bolted through that thing and ended up being like a minute ahead of the people I went in with. So the objective was to get through the maze and out of the big tent.
Yeah.
And it wasn't much of a maze at all, but I think they were trying to do that. And you exit the tent and walk into the woods. Now, throughout the woods, there's all these carnival games, sets, and stuff like that. So at least they stayed consistent with the theme. And the actors were looking at me the whole time like, did you come in with someone else? And I'm like, "Yeah, I did. So what's your whole deal?" The actors were much better in this one, more interactive. It made a bit more sense. But to me, I was kind of like, damage has already been done, and I wasn't impressed enough to want to stick around most of the time. In the trail, I ended up running into another giant group of teenage girls, and they just weren't moving. And I'm trying to look ahead to find out why, and it's all because they had this big sea beast of a woman with them. and she is way too scared to move forward. I shouldn't even say that. It wasn't even scared thing as much as it was her asking questions on where to go, even though it was impossible to make a wrong turn. And I'm just trying to get past them, and I can't, because they had like snow fencing up and down the trail. And finally, there was this weird spider web section where you had to sort of like duck under this giant web and escape from it, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
And I got in front of them that way. And the girls weren't even having that much fun. They were all like standing in the back of the group just like gossiping about boys in high school. And the rest of the girls were all yelling at their chaperone to move, But my freedom didn't last that long. I bumped into another group. Apparently they were held up by a Carnival Games character with like this mallet for the test your own strength thing. And it's not that you could play with that mallet or anything, I don't think. And all this guy was doing was stopping groups and giving this like general like cue line character stuff. It's like, hey, do you like cotton candy? Hey, do you like to floss with it though? I like to floss with the insulation. That's good stuff. And I just I'm like, get me the exit is right there. It's like I just kept on walking around people and then just went to my car and left.
Come on, a little harsh now.
Yeah, I know. I do believe that like most people really like this place. It works on the majority of people, and I've been to much, much worse places. And at the very least, like this place, they actually put in a real good effort to build up things, and I can appreciate the hell out of that. Appreciate it so much that I drink to them for their efforts. So let's do another beer dedication. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Do it. Wow. I love that voice.
Sorry.
No, I like it. Do it again. Oh, this is a special one. So again, God damn it. Again, I don't have a beer from Rhode Island, but this one was
Couldn't
very
grab
special.
a Narragansett.
I already did that.
Get a different Narragansett.
Get another one. No, this one's cool. Hold on. So this one is from Black Hog Brewing.
Oh, I've had something from them before.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of them before. I feel like they're pretty big. And this one here is called their Cold Pizza Pilsner.
I've had that.
Okay, jeez. I've already done it.
It's good.
I've already done that one.
No, I'm just saying I've had it.
Okay, it's good?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Okay, all right. I guess we'll just move on then. God. So anyways, back to...
It's good.
You've had this before?
Yeah, Nick sent a few beers out to me, and
Nick is just sending you beers across the country.
Once in a while, I send some out to him too. So
whatever. So these guys, they're in Oxford, Connecticut, kind of the New Haven area. It's a dry hopped Italian style Pilsner, 5.5. It's got that little typical pizza chef guy with his fingers going like, okay. You see him on the pizza boxes. No story on it, though. Damn it. I wanted a story.
The can made me hungry. The can art.
Oh, this was the other cool thing about it. I don't know if you still have that can, but my canned on date also says corned beef Pilsner. Does that mean?
I think they're just trying to be funny.
On the canned on date little print?
A lot of places will write like funny or stupid stuff down there as like a joke.
That's not even funny. I could see them freaking brewing a Pilsner with corned beef. Why do you think that's funny?
I mean, not funny, just being stupid. I don't know.
Okay, I think that there could be corned beef in here. And hopefully some mashed potatoes.
It might be good to pair with corned beef. Like if you're eating corned beef.
Opening up the corned beefiness. Damn it, I can't smell corned beef. I want my money back. All right. pouring.
So it's an Italian Pilsner, so should be a little more like hop flavor to it.
More hops? It says dry hopped Italian style. I don't know if there's a difference between regular and dry.
One's dry and one's wet.
You are the smartest boy in America. I can't really smell much of anything. Maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't know. All right, I gotta just swig this back, right? Interesting. Weird.
What you getting?
Wow, I can hear your birds. They are singing. Is that even a bird? That almost sounds like a freaking assassin trying to, like, call other assassins. Oh my God, why is it so... It sounds like the bird is in your freaking garage. What's going on there?
I got the garage door open for
Oh,
some
that
light.
sounds awesome.
You want me to shut it?
Do you have it open for a reason?
Just light and some air.
I don't know. That bird is loud.
All right, I'll shut it.
I'm sorry, but this is... It's actually really good.
2 hours later.
That's a really quiet garage door.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, back to this cold pizza Pilsner. It doesn't taste like cold pizza, so if anybody had that idea.
No, I think they just do... Well, part of it, I think, is Italian, so they just put Italian Pilsner. So
that's freaking racist.
And also, maybe it's good. It's probably good to pair with pizza.
I would absolutely have this with pizza. But I don't think there's many beers I wouldn't have with pizza. But this is a good match, though.
Yeah, like light, like lagers, pilsners like that are good.
I'm not really picking up on too much hops, and that's okay. Maybe you're not supposed to taste them that much in a Pilsner. It is really good, though. It's just a real good, clean... I don't know what else to say. It's just good.
Smooth, easy drinking.
Definitely
you could
smooth.
Drink a lot of them.
Easy drinker, crushable. all the terms. All the beer terms.
Balanced.
Balanced. There's a good one there. All of these terms are things that have, like, no meaning to them. You can just throw them in there and people be like, yes, That's great. That is a really good one. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I liked it.
All right. And now it's time for a review roundup. This is where I expose a few good and not so good reviews of the attraction via Google, Facebook, Yelp, TripAdvisor, wherever I can find them. All right. Google, 4.4, 35 reviews. So we have Sierra Scory, 1 star, 2022.
If I could give no stars, I would. There were like 3 actors inside the trail you went through. We waited probably 30 minutes in a line for this. The whole time we were waiting for people to jump out, and it rarely happened. Every actor they have clearly don't know how to do their jobs. Hands down the worst attraction we've ever been to. On top of it sucking, one of the women actors hit my daughter over her head with her weapon and left a big bump. Waste of time, go to any other attraction Rhode Island has. You're not missing anything here besides being assaulted and bored.
Whoa.
Huh. Assaulted, huh?
If it's true, it's very obviously an accident, but I doubt it to be true. There is no way there was only 3 actors. 30 minutes isn't a long wait time. Yeah. Any of the other Rhode Island attractions will tell you the same. So, no, Sierra Scory. Scory, not Scory. You know, I may not like the place that much either, but I ain't about to get my panties all twisted and lying about places because I had to wait for half an hour.
Yeah.
So stupid. All right.
And here we have Donna Cast, 1 star in 2022.
They need to make it safer for people to walk through with it being so dark. Big rocks and tree roots and flashlights aren't allowed. I did like it.
I think that was a typo.
Maybe. She could have just been giving some constructive criticism.
Maybe. Yeah, now that she mentions it, they did have a trail, but it was just like a padded down trail. So all the roots and rocks are still around. This is very true. And then we got Jason W., 3 stars.
It was okay. I would say family-friendly haunt with little to no gore factor, focusing on jump scares and prop tricks. Starts off strong in the carnival and fades into the second half. Definitely gets an originality point with the clown candy. Paths can be a little treacherous for the non-steady-footed, and this could also be said for the parking also. If you have an SUV, bring it cause you will be off-roading. Make sure to grab some food at Deinolica's food truck. I can always recommend the pulled pork nachos. This place could definitely use some actors wandering in the midway and food area. Also the tickets.
This guy uploaded a picture of his nachos.
Oh.
You know, honestly, they look bomb. Damn. Again, with the trail maintenance, though, and the parking is a bit earthly. Like I said, it's just all grass and it's mushy and I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a flattened, thick grass. You know, got some bounce to it.
All right.
Okay, here's a long one, but it's very detailed. It's very well thought out, very articulate, and this is like an actual review, and I respect it a lot. This is Andrew Mackey, 3 stars in 2022, and because it deserves respect, I'm going to give it one of the smarter, classier voices, so just listen carefully. I liked it. It was so good. I liked haunted houses. I couldn't resist.
Went with my family of 5. The Bathsheba Woods were great. We got to walk through alone and all the actors were on point. The dark fair was okay. When you wait in line to go through the tent, the attraction can only accompany 4 people, which is fine. But the girl in charge of sending people through was breaking up families in ways that could easily be avoided. She was adamant about sending only the 4 people through every single time. She originally wanted to break my family up into a group of 4, then have one of us go with a different family. I asked her if me and my 2 boys could go through, and then my girlfriend and daughter. We could just meet up on the other side. She ended up taking 1 person from the family behind us. A family of 7 that could have easily been broken up into a party of 3 and a party of 4, so they could stay together. On the other side of the tent, the boy from the other family already started going down the maze. I ran ahead and stopped him to let him know he should hang back and wait till his family goes through the tent because that was not explained to him. I understand the girl was just trying to do as she was instructed. I don't think it's her fault. However, if you're paying $20 a ticket to experience something with your family, you don't want to be separated from them. We were held up at a few places because the guests who went before us were going through the attractions seconds before us, and we missed out on a good bit of the jump scares because the actors were still resetting. I would suggest breaking down individual parties into sizes that make sense for the party, instead of trying to shoehorn groups of 4. That aside, they should also work on their pacing for guests through the dark fair. Haunted Gallows is new to the scene, and you can tell they are still working out the kinks in their system. It was a fun experience. However, at $20 a ticket and suckering you with $5 parking, other haunted houses are priced around the same. And I would probably look for a more polished product that takes you longer than 25 minutes to go through.
Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'll say this. He is absolutely right about the 4 people thing. The only reason they do that is because there's only 4 of those arch things in that tent. It doesn't matter anyway because people catch up to each other in the woods. You know, the actors don't really seem to have any training on how to hold up groups.
Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I like and I don't like that he ran to the boy that was walking ahead. I mean, maybe the kid didn't understand. Maybe he understands perfectly and just wanted to get things over with like me. But also it kind of feels like this guy is a bit more of a control freak. And she seemed like a lot of counting and figuring it all out on his own when he should be focused more on going into a haunted trail. You know, maybe he's just passionate about pacing and grouping and stuff. You know, in that case, cool. Either way, he ain't really that wrong. Mm-hmm. And they got a response.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much for your comments. We welcome feedback, as you are correct. We are in our first year, so any feedback is helpful. We are happy you had a great time in Bathsheba's Woods. We are also sorry you did not have a great time in the Dark Fair. We are sorry about our door person, however, we only allow groups of 4. We feel that this is the best number for all of the people in your group to have the best time. As you know, there is a reason for this. However, I don't want to give away our secret. The person at the door is told no matter what it is groups of 4. If it is busy, they will try to pair groups of 2. Unfortunately, they have a hard job because everyone feels comfort in staying in their group. But our job is to scare you and make you feel uncomfortable. So unfortunately, our door person has to be the bad person and tell you no, you cannot stay with your group of 7, 10, sometimes even 20 people. It is just no fun for you or our monsters. With that said, you are 100% right. The spacing should not have been a problem, and we are sorry about that. With that said, if you would like to private messages, we will try to take care of you as best we can. You can do so by going to our website and sending us an email.
I wonder what they did for him.
Yeah, that's how some horror movies start. Yeah, no, sorry. There is no great reason to do just 4. If you think there is, then you're just not getting it. It's not really a spoilable thing, but clearly these guys think it is, and I think that's adorable. There is no reason 2 people can't go through the dumb archways together. It's a whole different thing when it's a group of 10 or more people, but even then, where was the bouncer making sure that these groups would be staying together throughout the trail? I caught up to the group ahead of me twice.
Yeah.
Groups with an S. Nobody is breaking them up.
Right.
Leia Miracles, 5 stars, 2022.
My boyfriend and I went to Haunted Gallows, and it was amazing. Dark Fair was just as it was described, and I couldn't stop screaming in fear throughout the whole thing. There was the Boo Patch. It was great to take pictures and get in the coffins. Bathsheba was so scary, and I could have sworn that there were wolves in the woods with all the Halloween going on, but it was the actors. So much interaction throughout the night, not like any other haunts that we have been to. Amazing.
Yeah, that's probably one of the actors' mothers or something. I'm surprised she didn't write it like, I like Tommy the best. He was so good at whatever he was doing. He probably gets it from his mother's side of the family. God. All right, so the rest on Google are like either 3-star reviews that pretty much say, it was okay, could have been better, or 5-star reviews claiming a bunch of shit that never happened.
Yeah.
Facebook only has 2 reviews, and they are throwaway ones. As usual, TripAdvisor has none, and Yelp has 3, but they're just repeaters from Google. So, with that, I guess we can wrap up this freaking episode. Half the damn show wasn't even about this place. Any questions?
No, I mean, a lot of the talk was about the actors, and I personally like a spot where the actors are more spot on, more than, like, I like the sets and stuff, but for me, like, the actors really need to be a big part of it, so that seemed like that was maybe a little problem here.
Little bit. Well, like I said, the actors that were in the carnival part, they were definitely much more better versed than the ones in Bathsheba's Woods.
Yeah.
And it's not like I remember every single one of them, You know, so there was definitely okay people. This place is not bad. It's just things that they can really work on a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate rating places with numbers, but I think I could say this. Like, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd probably give it a solid 3.
Yeah.
But I feel regular people would probably give it like a 4.5.
Right.
So I do wish them the best. They seem to have a lot of ambition and want to turn the place into something really cool, and I hope they do.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's just, I've heard that a lot from other haunt owners over the years, and it very rarely happens. You know, it's a tough, tough dream to chase. But best of luck no matter what happens. So, well, thanks for listening. Hope you had some fun. Next episode, number 9, we're going back to 7 Cedars Farm Haunted Hayride. Haven't been back to them in years. Let's check it out. Thank you, noobs.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Aw. All right. Stay safe, stay scary, and drink beer.
Yeah.
All right, bye.